Welcome to this week's episode of Town Talk. I'm your host, Joe Reddy. We have here with us our first guest of the day, Captains Timothy and Nicole Ross. We're here from the Salvation Army. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So, this is a big time of year for you guys. I'd like to talk a little bit first about, what the Salvation Army is and what you do for the community.
Sure. I like to kind of say that the Salvation Army is an organization that really cares for the whole person, right? So body, mind, spirit. We have the ability with the resources that are entrusted to us through many contributors and donors to really just meet many needs. So some people come to us for food. It's a very practical, tangible way we can help. Some eat hot meals at our facility on a daily basis. Some come to us for some financial guidance and counseling, maybe even some help with rent or a utility. So really, whatever anybody asks, we try, to use the resources that have been entrusted to us to meet those needs.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
What made you get involved with the Salvation Army? What was your motivation?
Well, for me, I came to Salvation Army because a Salvation Army bus would drive around our neighborhood and pick up kids after school for character building programs where they would teach things and we would earn badges. And I had a friend that lived down the street. And I was like, so where do you go after school every day? And she's like, I go to the Salvation Army. I was like, can I go to the Salvation Army? And she was like, sure, you can go to the Salvation Army. So I say to people, I got on the bus and I never got off. All these years later, now I am entrusted along with my husband, a command of a Salvation Army. So we care for our congregation as well as the daily administration and operation of the facility day in and day out. So exciting. But he has a little bit of a different story.
My story's a little bit different. I'm kind of in the family genes, per se. I'm the fifth generation going to the Salvation Army. So my family were Salvation Army officers at one point. My grandfather came over here from England, where the Salvation Army began in 1865. So that's my roots are much deeper than my wife's roots. But together, our lives have been transformed by the Salvation Army, and we like to give back from what the Salvation Army has done for us.
That's awesome. Now, are you guys primarily based out of the Lowell area?
Yes.
Yes, we serve Tingsboro, Dracut, Lowell. Make sure I got these all right, being so new. Chelmsford, Tewksbury, Billerica, Westford, I think they hit them all. Yeah, so we oversee that area. Before this, we served in Quincy for 6 years, and before that, Plymouth for 4 years. So we kind of made our way up north, and look forward to, we've been here since June, and we're looking forward to continuing the mission of the Salvation Army here in this area.
That's awesome. Now, I know a lot of, what you do is, funded through donations primarily. And one of the big ones was probably this weekend. Talk a little bit about it and what it means for the Salvation Army.
So I think you're talking about our radiothon.
I am.
And that was a very exciting day for us, specifically because we are new and it was our first time. But it is something that the Salvation Army Advisory Board in Lowell has done and sponsored and put together for over 20 years, I think. And it really is a well-oiled machine. And basically we take over the radio station of, I always get their numbers wrong.
980 WCAP.
980 WCAP. And we just, from 6 in the morning till 2, various contributions come in, whether people walk them in or call them in. There's a live auction that takes place online, and we just listen to people's stories, and there's various fire departments that go out as well and do like a boot fundraiser drive for us. They stand out on the very, very cold day that was Saturday and raise money between those hours. And they really are like the Salvation Army behind the Salvation Army, and we couldn't do it without. And that's just a very dynamic way that the Lowell Advisory Board really helps us to do what we do and have the resources that we have. So.
And we also have our Christmas kettle campaign that, you see the red kettles outside the stores, Walmart, Market Basket, Stop and Shop. That's been going on for over 100 years and continues to go on. So all those funds, as you say, really help to make up what we're able to do, not just at Christmas time with toys and clothing, but to help with foods and shelter and utilities all year round. So really, this is really the driving force of what supports our whole year effort of service back to the community.
Do you feel like the fact that people use credit cards more often impacts your kettle campaign from just the standpoint of sometimes people walk in, they don't have cash, they don't have change?
Yeah, it's a unique challenge, I would
Yes.
say, and Salvation Army nationwide is trying to address that. We've done text to give, we've done trying to do online more and more, and so it does create its unique challenges, and it's still trying to address that. And just even on Saturday at the Radiothon, some people said to us who were out ringing the bell for the Radiothon, they said you'd get more donations if you had something to do with the credit card. So they are looking into ways to try to do that. And it does affect though the overall donations, sure.
Wow. So how big is the organization here in Lowell as far as volunteers and staff?
Christmas time, 280. I know last year when I was looking at it, 286 volunteers helped us to pack toys and get the food ready. That's just Christmas time alone. We have volunteers that serve year round in the food pantry. So it varies. The Radiothon has its own committee and own group of volunteers, head up by Warren Shaw, and often in honor of Fred Simon, who is a huge supporter. But
Yes.
so the Radiothon probably had 50, 60 volunteers alone. Christmas time with the toys, clothing,
Yes.
another 280 people coming and going, and those kinds of things.
We're presently working diligently day and night to fill about 500 toy and food asks from the community this Christmas. So those tags are coming in that everybody sees, and we're diligently bagging and tagging all of them, and look forward to the day when all the families will come and be able to receive those toys and maybe just help a little bit make Christmas, a little brighter, a little bit easier for them to accomplish for their children. So it is an exciting time for us, and I love to see all that hard work that so many put into it really just culminates when we get to see all that stuff just go into the hands of those who need it the most.
Well, one of the impressive things I heard that during the Columbia gas explosion that Salvation Army was one of the first trucks on the scene.
right.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I was actually eating dinner, and my cell phone was going off saying, they got some calls in Lawrence for house fires. So we have an emergency disaster canteen parked in Lowell that services this area. And so me and another gentleman I work with got into the canteen and drove right into Lawrence and into the staging area. And so for the next, that was 6 o'clock at night till 1:30 in the morning, we just served firefighters in the staging area who were coming in and rotating out from all over the state of Massachusetts and New Hampshire. And that was just us in the first 7 or 8 hours. But another canteen came in and relieved us for the rest of the night. And then we had other canteens, 6 from across the state, come in and serve at the shelters that were set up at that time. But it was really a week-long, just of the canteens, a week-long effort. But certainly there's still, the Salvation Army in Lawrence is still serving those in need just because of those explosions, and continue to meet the need as requested.
Now, if people are interested in getting involved in the Salvation Army, maybe not from a donation standpoint, but from a volunteer effort, what's the best way of approaching the organization, and do you guys have, open positions?
Yeah.
They can come down to our office on Appleton Street, 150 Appleton Street in Lowell. They can certainly call our office, or they can even go on our website, and there's a way to fill out for a volunteer. The website is salvationarmyma.org/Lowell. And then you can fill out a form there, and that comes right directly to us, and we can get back in touch with them.
I assume if people are interested in donating as well, they can take a similar pathway.
Same approach, yep. Or there's always the red kettles out there. Small change often makes big change in other people's lives, so it all adds up.
Now, do you have a shelter at that Appleton Street location, or no?
No, we don't. We do serve meals, hot meals out of there, but we're located pretty close to the shelter that is run, and so we try to work hand in hand with them. Because really collaboration gets the most work done, right? So use the resources that a city and the surrounding community have, come to the table together and make it happen for those who need it the most.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show,
Thank you.
giving us an update about the Salvation Army, and we hope people get out there and, you know, either volunteer or at a minimum throw some cash in a kettle.
That's right.
Right? Any other ways people can donate?
Oh, no, I think it's pretty, we're pretty synonymous with Christmas. That's when we get the most attention. That's when we people think of the Christmas spirit when the Army is out there. And so we try to use this time to remind people that we're not only there during this 39 days or whatever that we're out there, but we are at work within the community 365 days. So, and we are excited and happy and privileged to do the work that we've been asked to do. So.
Well, I know the money's much needed, and
Absolutely.
as much as it seems like they raise a lot of money during that radiothon, I'm sure it doesn't go as far as it should.
Big communities, right? Lots of people, lots of need.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on, and we hope
Thank you.
to see you soon.
It was nice
Yeah, thank
meeting
you.
you.